Of course, StoneColdTruth.com is his website. It's his birthday, so he's got to go. He's all in his Texas duds right now. But I just wanted to get his take on, is Trump selling us out like Gorkin and to a certain extent Bannon is saying? And he basically, this morning concurred with what I was told. He's still Americana, still trying to turn the economy on, but he is listening to the generals. So it's more of a neocon bent war-wise. I mean, he did defeat, ISIS pretty much, and with our military. So some good things are happening. It's just that overall, we're going to be honest with you, the president's not perfect. But as Rand Paul said, thank God every morning Hillary Clinton's not president. So really, let's burrow down into this. Where are we currently right now with this? And then some of the good news, lawsuits against the SPLC, one of the most disreputable groups out there, now running Google, running Facebook, running Twitter, running banking systems. I mean, in 1935 Germany, if the Nazis said your business was shut down and happened, literally they're calling us Nazis. This is Nazi tactics. So Roger Stone, on your birthday, good to have you here with us.
My New York Times best-selling book, The Man Who Killed Kennedy, The Case Against LBJ, I think finally sets the record straight on the 36th president, who was a serial murderer and a lunatic. And therefore, it's somehow ironic that he and I share a birthday, August 27th. Great to be with you. On the president, I think what's happening here, in all honesty, based on my conversations within the administration, is on domestic policy, particularly on immigration, still on trade, on a growing war party to go to war for his tax reform package, which I think is the key to his presidency. The president remains solid. Where I do see some erosion, and this is his decision not to send 150,000 troops to Syria notwithstanding, and this minor but troubling incursion into Afghanistan, we assume 4,000 troops, although that's not really clear. The president told us little about their plan, not wanting to telegraph to the enemy exactly what we're doing, something that he's been consistent about, Alex, for 40 years. I do see the generals trying to move him towards a neocon bent. I think that he's being undermined by the Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, who was really not happy with the job, essentially detached, and therefore letting Condoleezza Rice and her many hand-picked hires there run the U.S. Department of State.
Wow.
So I still I want to be very clear. I'm with the president till the better end, because on the major issues, Glass-Steagall, immigration, the wall,
TPP, carbon taxes, the stock market, jobs back to America, renegotiating Afghan gas.
Climate change. I mean, look, on the big picture issues, he's been very strong despite a completely...
But there is a real infatuation with these generals. Trump ordered new policy. The Border Patrol did it. He's promoted Kelly because he delivered on 69% reduction in massive deportation of criminals that had committed crimes. But that's Trump's policies. Trump needs to take a victory lap. I get the fact that Kelly over Homeland Security executed it, but can't Trump pat himself in the back?
Well, in fact, you're absolutely right, Lex. All we started to do was to enforce the law. Now we learned today that if you apply to the United States, you're going to have a personal eye-to-eye interview with some American who looks at you and tries to figure out why you want to come here based on everything you've submitted. That's the way it should be. Or as the president said, we would freeze immigration until such time that we set up a system that allowed us to find out what the hell was going on. Completely reasonable.
Where is the American Republic? Because I see us at helter-skelter. They're trying to kill the president. They're promoting they're going to kill him on CNN with former deputy directors of the CIA. They're trying to say everybody that's in opposition is a Nazi, ban us off the internet. It's an incredible time to be alive, Roger. And with the backdrop then of the president just sitting there taking it. I mean, how long, what does he do? What do we do? Because it's so historical. It's so perilous what's happening right now.
I have now independently confirmed a story reported by Paul Joseph Watson here at InfoWars that General McMaster is bedeviled by our broadcasts and stories on InfoWars. and that he is going out of his way to try to not only bring an iron curtain down around the president in terms of communications, but specifically to cut InfoWars off. Why? Because we are the tip of the spear, because we are hitting him with the stone cold truth, as it were, about McMaster, about Kelly and what he's really up to, about Dina Habib Powell, who is a fellow traveler of the neocons, a former Bush aide, a former member of the Council on Foreign Relations. Also, we've exposed Fiona Hill, McMaster's top deputy, an actual Soros agent who worked at the Global Society Initiative, Harvard, Council on Foreign Relations, and a dozen other lefty connections. Why are these people in the Trump White House? That's why I say the danger is not in domestic policy. The danger is here, and there's a fight to be fought. But the president, to his credit, while he went for the Afghanistan bait, he did not go for their Syria charade.
Other points. I mean, where is Trump 7 months in? I mean, they're just fully uncloaked now, trying to push his overthrow and just wildly running around censoring everybody into a complete hysteria. Where does this go?
Yeah, you've got two things going on here at once, I think, Alex. You have the left, who are ratcheting up now racial tensions because the Russian gambit has failed. And this is kind of a proven trick for them. The networks and CNN certainly jump on to forward their narrative that the biggest problem in the country today are neo-Nazi white supremacists and Klansmen, who, while I admit there may be a handful of these nuts, is not the great danger in the country. The great danger is those on the left who are assaulting people, beating people, tearing down stations, statues and monuments, defaming public property, looting, burning. That is the danger. And the mainstream media, while they give it some coverage, they give a disproportionate amount of coverage to a white supremacist in Charlottesville who turns out, after you peel back the onion, to have worked for Obama just several years ago. At the same time, you've got General Kelly, who really understands that, as I have said a million times on this program, when Donald Trump has all the information, he is a gut anti-interventionist. He is a gut stand up for America.
And so they want to try to hijack the country, an informational coup. In closing, in the 1 minute we have on your birthday, StoneColdTruth.com. Thanks for joining us here, Roger. What do we do to continue to make sure we get real information to Trump? Because that shows how real he is, that they're trying to block that off.
Well, this is a very key thing, Alex. I can tell you, despite the very best efforts of General Kelly, that the president is seeing not all, but some seminal and important InfoWars reports. You see, they don't understand that the president is his own man, and he does not want to be treated like a mushroom. In other words, kept in the dark and fed shit. He wants to know the facts, and he's naturally inquisitive, and there are channels, and there will always be channels that are perfectly legal, but are perhaps unknown to General Kelly, to get him information. So the good news is the president is getting some.
And they've shown their hand how desperate they are to keep him in the dark and to stop us from getting leaks and info. So they're admitting we're real. They're admitting we have access. This is a big victory, and they're admitting that he actually stands for what he believes in and actually listens to information, not special interest in lobby.
U.S. President Donald Trump on Tuesday giving North Korea his most aggressive warning to date.
President Trump is not a racist.
I say red baseball caps mean you're an asshole.
Tonight, the fight over Confederate statues is now a flashpoint.
Large groups of people punching, kicking, and hitting each other with sticks.
If you see this and you understand